Okay, I've found the Channel 4 commentary track from Abu Dhabi 2021, and that's what I'm going to go through in this video. This one is a little bit strange though, because there's large sections of the audio where there is no commentary. So I don't know whether this was actually what was broadcast on the TV when it was broadcast on live TV at the time. Because normally, obviously, with Formula One, we only get that live if you're watching it through Sky, which you have to pay for. But because that was the end of season showdown, the title decider, they actually gave that away on free to view TV here in the UK. So that was played live on Channel 4, I believe. I might be wrong, but I think it was live on Channel 4 at the same time that it was live on Sky, but with Channel 4 providing its own commentary team. I might be wrong, but I think that was what was going on. So to have this amount of footage without commentary is rather strange. Now, this is the YouTuber that has uploaded it, Matt Leando, and he's got quite a lot of the commentary audios there on his channel. So go and check him out and have a look what he's saying. If I just go to this description here, he actually does say, this one is a little strange as the C4 highlights were shortened considerably as they were still broadcasting live, awaiting results of the Mercedes appeals. So only around 40 to 50% of the race has commentary as opposed to the usual 75%. So yeah, it is weird. Okay. Now, what you'd normally expect, and again, you can check this out on YouTube. This one here says, amazing behind-the-scenes view from Channel 4 F1 Silverstone commentary. Okay, F1 from the comms box. So this is the typical scenario that a commentary team will be kind of, this is what they have at their disposal to commentate on. So you've got Coulthard here, all right, and then this is the guy that you're going to be hearing in Abu Dhabi as well. The guy in the grey shirt. His name is Alex, is it Jax or Jakes? Okay, we've also got Mark Webber in this one, who you'll recognise. But Alex Jakes, he is the guy that we're going to be hearing from Abu Dhabi. But if you just watch what's going on here, you've got these screens. You've got a view of what's going on. You've also got what looks to be, you've got like a data view screen. You've got a tracker view screen. You've got another data view screen here going on. And they're clearly looking at a screen that's in front of them as well. So they've got multiple screens at their disposal. You've got notes that they're all reading from as well. So I'll just play you a bit of this in the hope that it won't get blocked.
Good afternoon and welcome to the British Grand Prix.
That's a lot of burgers, mate.
3, 4, 5 red lights at Silverstone, and the British Grand Prix is go. Max Verstappen takes the lead on a big crash, car upside down.
A sandwich moment here.
Joe Guan Yu,
Knocks a few cobwebs out.
the halo has done an extraordinary job there. Mark, you only had big accidents in your career.
I didn't scratch them at all. I destroyed them. Boom. Done. Bang. Jeez, it was a pinball machine.
Get back on it, mate.
Suck.
I don't know why you need all these notes like that. I mean, is this the script? Who knows, lads? What's the script?
Cut up, buttercup.
That's not going to pull the show, is it?
Lotion motion. Beer.
And the second start of the British Grand Prix is go. Carlos Sainz kept his foot in.
Contact.
Charles Leclerc is into the side of Sergio Perez.
Wow, what a start. Good was Sainz.
Absolutely phenomenal. Brilliant start to the British Grand Prix.
Any idea why it's called maggots?
And he's still with me. He's got one.
That could give
That
the
would
lead.
be-
And Max Verstappen is through.
Watch this.
You can smell it.
Toys.
No way has that just happened.
I would not like to be those boys. You won't want to face France Toast in the debrief.
And Max Verstappen's got a problem.
Okay, well, there we are, guys. Boom, this race just continues to give. I'm going left rear, mate.
I'm going for the one in the middle.
My God, this race.
The British Grand Prix is only available in box office. Lewis Hamilton is the fastest car on this racetrack.
Sainz is not wanting to play ball.
Boom, there it goes. Carlos is going to get a phone call very soon.
Our tyres going on.
Nothing in their split.
Lewis Hamilton leads in Formula One, and it's not the fastest stop either.
Hamilton on fresh tyres in front of 188 trillion people. And he's
So you get the idea. All right, that was the British Grand Prix of 2022, I believe. So with that being the case, let's look at Abu Dhabi 2021 commentary track. I'm going to start it at 1:26:20, and let's have a listen to what's going on. I'm going to stop it to interject to analyse what it is that they're saying. So here we go. Strange that there's nothing being said. Okay, it's not your typical high drama, high octane commentary, because we're always talking about this like this when we're talking about Formula One, because that's the only way that people get excited about Formula One. Nothing going on, is there? It's rather a different experience, isn't it?
Oh, and we've got a car into the wall. It's Nicholas Latifi in sector 3, and we've got a completely different situation.
Yeah.
That is a safety car.
That's a safety car because they'll not be able to recover that. I don't think there's a crane in that position, Mark. If that's in the same place where Verstappen binned it, so this changes things.
I don't believe this season. I just can't believe what we've seen in 2021. Nicholas Latifi is the second Williams out of the Grand Prix.
Hamilton shaking his head, cannot believe it. Cannot believe it. He knows what this means. This actually, hold on. Can they get this recovered within the time? I think this could well be us running to the checkered flag under safety.
What do you know, David Coulthard? Somebody that's experienced in the sport, having been a former driver and also a commentator on the sport, that's been witnessing this sport since these rules and regulations were reintroduced back at the beginning of the 2012 season, where it's mandatory to unlap lapped cars after the safety car has been deployed to deal with a safety incident. Oh, but the flip side of this is David Coulthard is managed by Martin Brundle, I believe. So Martin will have no doubt given David the script. But who knows? Let's continue this on.
Safety car.
5 laps to go. There's no crane down there from the top of my head. It's very narrow down there. And it took them a very long time to recover Kimi Raikkonen out of the same part of the racetrack.
Yeah,
and in comes Verstappen.
Yeah. So I think with these amount of laps left, and this I have completely lost it, you can start practicing Lewis Hamilton, 8-time world champion.
Wow. David Coulthard, looking at the situation, looking how many laps are left, is saying, Lewis Hamilton, you might be an 8-time world champion. That's the way it's looking from David Coulthard's perspective. Let's see if he's able to follow through with that.
Box. Negative.
Oh, they're nervous down there. I cannot believe this. It is now down to the marshals. Of all the things we've seen this year, the speed of the marshals comes into whether this is going to be a restarted race.
And he's not wrong, okay? He's not wrong in as much that if the clear-up operation can be effected in a short enough time span, it is possible that it could restart. On average, these type of incidents do take 5.5 laps out of a race before racing can resume, but that is an average. Okay, sometimes it can be shorter, sometimes it can take longer than that. Okay, but the average is 5.5 laps. If they're able to deal with this quickly, it might be possible to restart, but we need to see how this is going to unfold. The moment the brake catches fire and you have to use a fire extinguisher on it, that is going to prolong that clear-up operation. Already, having to deal with a fire takes extra time, but then the additional time is having to clear up the fire extinguisher powder, adding more time to the clear-up operation. Okay, because you have to clear that powder off the track surface. Otherwise, the grip is severely compromised in that location, and another car could quite easily lose control of a car in that section and put themselves into the barrier, and that is negligence on the part of the clerk of the course. So they have to ensure they've done everything that is possible to clear that, to make the track safe again before you resume racing.
That's unbelievable.
So again, it's strange, isn't it? We're hearing the interjected messages which are supplied by F1 TV, the creators of the show. They're the people that show us the camera angles that they want us to see. They're the ones that play us the radio messages that they want us to hear. But we're hearing nothing from the Channel 4 commentary team. Now, if there's another version of this that exists where they are talking at this point, then please put a link to that in the comments to this video. This is the only one that I can find on YouTube. Previous one that I searched, I only got the last lap commentary from Channel 4. Thankfully, I've been able to find the actual full race commentary now. We'll carry on.
Let's see what went on here. This is the battle down into 9. Nice, well, initially, nice track position around the outside. As the contact come later in the corner.
He's just going to lose it by himself.
Yeah, I think he's got dirt on the tyres, and as he's tried to stay close to the Haas in front. Silly little mistake there, just lost the rear end, got a bit wide onto the marbles. There's a lot of debris even when they pick up that car.
So Coulthard's describing the replay of the Latifi crash. So that they're clearly, as they're explaining it, are saying, yeah, that is a schoolboy error. Now, that shouldn't set the alarm bells ringing, because Nicholas Latifi had a reputation for crashing. But that being said, when you actually analyse the circumstances of the crash, the fact that the manoeuvre looked very orchestrated in terms of the choreographed overtake. At the beginning of that lap, Nicholas Latifi was informed by his race engineer that it had to be this lap. Then, as they come from turn 7, okay, they come out of there and they you come under that bridge, down that straight, kind of 8 is a bit of a bend, and then you're down towards the big sweeping turn 9, which comes back on itself. But as they're going down towards turn 9, Mick Schumacher opens it all up when Nicholas Latifi's not even that close. That seemed very, very contrived. Then, obviously, Latifi leaves the track. Oh, that's the dirty tyres. Then Latifi follows Schumacher back around through, turns 12, 13, 14, as he's taking 14, which he has taken in 4th gear for each of the previous 5 laps. This time he's in 3rd gear. He's in a gear that's lower. He's supposedly got less traction because he's got tyres that are now dirty, and he hits the accelerator. What do you think you're going to do? Do you think you're going to be spinning those back wheels up when you are in a lower gear and you gun the accelerator? If you've got a steering angle in, Is that back end going to kick out on you? Yes, it is. So if you had to put your car into the back end into a wall, how would you do it? Oh, just like that, Nicholas. Well done, you. And then as soon as he's crashed, anti-stall on the car kicks in, so the engine's still running. Latifi makes no attempt whatsoever to try and see if that car is capable of manoeuvring, to see if it's possible to recover that car back to the pits to clear himself off the racetrack. He just switches the engine off. That is not authentic. And then these are then describing what has gone on. We'll carry on with the commentary.
What's the situation behind
So, situation is, Verstappen has pitted. He had a free pit stop. We would have lost track position to him. 4 laps remaining when you cross the line. So this field has to bunch, and then they have to send lap cars through. So it may not restart.
Is he right behind me?
He will be.
So this is with about 3.5 laps to go. Hamilton, when this message is played to us, is on lap 55. And he is on that straight between turn 5 and turn 6, I believe. So 3.5 laps remaining approximately. Is he right behind me? He will be. Again, this message, so I believe this is Bono talking, selected by F1 TV. This doesn't sound authentic. You, as a race engineer, can clearly communicate in a manner to convey to the world what really needs to happen. This doesn't explain it fully. This allows room for what happened to have taken place.
Once they've sorted out all the order, this is going to take a while to sort out.
With new tyres?
Copy, Lewis. We would have lost track position if we had pitted.
Sky Sports will tell you, oh, and that was the big key here. Mercedes, and give it all that narrative. We're hearing nothing, are we? Why are we hearing nothing from Alex Jakes? In this video, he can't keep his mouth shut. Why are we hearing nothing from him? These motor mouth F1 presenters, they can't get enough of it normally.
The safety car's not going full gas down the straight.
Copy, Lewis. Understood.
Copy, Lewis. Understood. Is that the best you can do, Bono? But still eerie silence from Channel 4's commentary team. Like I say, is there a different version out there?
What's happened here?
We've got
Perez
is
coming
coming.
to the pits.
Retiring
Perez.
the car. That's retirement.
So we've got Latifi crashing. They obviously talk about, oh, this is going to be a safety car. Latifi's crashed. Then they analyse the replay of Latifi crashing, and now we're just getting. This is the beginning of lap 56 when Red Bull retire Perez. And then shortly afterwards, when obviously the TV cameras are showing that Red Bull car going into the pits, when it cuts back to the track, when the cars are heading down between turn 5 and turn 6, we get the banner coming across the screen on the global feed saying, lapped cars will not be allowed to overtake, right, which is not an official message. So let's listen to what these follow this up with once they cut away from Perez in the pits.
It is indeed. As Carlos Sainz has been promoted to the podium, another podium in his maiden season with Ferrari. It'd be his fourth if you can finish in that position. What happened?
So they've identified that Perez now has been retired from third place, and now that's given Carlos Sainz third position, a position on the podium.
Checo, we need to retire the car. We need to retire the car. Box.
Really?
Yeah, box.
Did they pick up on the fact that Perez was surprised that he was being retired?
Race control. Lap cars will not be able to overtake. Lap cars will not be able to overtake.
Well, in that case then, Hamilton's got a free run to the checkered here.
So we've got surprise from Alex Jakes or Jax. Okay, this guy is surprised, and Coulthard is saying, well, that means that Hamilton's got a free ride to the checkered flag. If there's going to be no overtaking, then this is a safety car finish. Well, that's valid.
Because
we're going to restart it,
yeah.
but we're not going to let the cars go through.
Yeah, so that...
What do you mean, yeah? If we're going to restart it, we're not going to let the cars go through. That's not allowed. What are you talking about? These are paid commentators of a sport projecting that that's not what has to happen. Let's just play that bit again.
Overtake.
Well, in that case then, Hamilton's got a free run to the checkered here. Because
we're going to restart it,
yeah.
but we're not going to let the cars go through.
Yeah, so that means that Verstappen has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... 5 cars between him and Hamilton.
When do we do that?
We do it when you just keep amending and negotiating and changing the rules as the season unfolds.
So, when do we do that? Because you don't do it. And Coulthard says, oh, well, we do it when we keep amending the rules. Oh, so we're amending the rules on the fly. No, that's not allowed. That's corruption. Okay, you're breaking the rules of the sport. You're not allowed to do that. Here we go again. Just rewind that.
Yeah, so that means that Verstappen has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars between him and Hamilton.
When do we do that?
We do it when you just keep amending and negotiating and changing the rules as the season unfolds.
Yeah, because that did happen, didn't it? All season, Max Verstappen was enabled to drive a bit argy-bargy, a bit elbows out, a bit uncompromising, a bit super aggressive. No, it's all illegal. But you never punished him for that. You excited the kiddies with that. They like that. So you enabled that. You broke the rules of the sport to enable Max Verstappen. All season. Funny that.
so that lap cars will not be allowed to overtake.
Yeah, of course. Typical decision.
So we are coming around towards around about turn 10 on lap 56. Remember from all the footage that I show you, when they come past turn 14 on this lap, the marshals are still jumping over the barriers. There were marshals on track at the point in time that notification that lapped cars will not be allowed to overtake. That's why lapped cars will not be allowed to overtake, because there's marshals on the track still sweeping up debris from the track. That was the reason why you can't allow lapped cars to unlap. F1 TV will have known that. They've got cameras all around that track, so they can clearly identify what's going on. And yet, this message between Red Bull and Max Verstappen, whereby it's a completely invalid message, because they're having a moan, projecting that they are the victims of this now. Yeah, oh, cancel that. Lapped cars will not be allowed to overtake. Typical decision. I'm not surprised. It's classic. Yeah, all that one. Yeah, poor Red Bull. So what do Red Bull want? Do they want the chance or do they not? So I think this is the best chance if they want it, says Crofty. That's not allowed. Okay, there's marshals still on the track at turn 14 right now. They don't leave the track until Max Verstappen passes them. When Max gets to turn 14, Max is only about turn 10. They're playing this message, presenting to the world that Red Bull are being hard done by. They're not being hard done by. The track is just being cleared. But they are creating the narrative. So, we'll play it on.
It's classic.
I'm not surprised.
And as I've said before, this is not the typical response that we observe from Max Verstappen. At any sign of adversity, Max Verstappen responds in a completely different manner. But it's all jovial here when the world title's on the line.
Man, I don't even know what to tell you anymore. There are so many rules this year that have been redrawn.
There you go. Man, I don't know what to tell you anymore. There are so many rules that have been redrawn. Does that not tell you something's not right here?
And this one goes against Red Bull. Some in Saudi went for...
This one goes against Red Bull. Why can you not just look at what is going on here? If you've got a understanding of the rules and regulations and their purpose, okay, because the purpose is the key. The purpose is we have had to intervene in this Grand Prix to deal with a safety incident, and we deal with that by deploying the safety car. At that point in time, the competitors were all challenging each other for position at various points around that track. The leader had begun lapping the field. The leader had lapped up until Lando Norris, who at that time was in 8th position. Although 8th position was challenging for 7th, the leader hadn't lapped 7th yet. However, 8th is still trying to challenge 7th. But because of the deployment of the safety car, the leader gets held back by the safety car. 8th position has to wait behind the leader, but 7th disappears all the way around the track and links up with the back of the safety car snake. Now, effectively, an entire lap ahead of 8th position. Them competitors all get promoted a place because of the retirement of Perez. So what was 7th position Gasly is now 6th position Gasly. What was 8th position Norris is now 7th position Norris. But Norris, from being less than 12 seconds behind Gasly, is now a lap almost behind Gasly, because Gasly's been able to disappear off around the track because Norris is held back. There is a requirement in those regulations to restore sporting fairness to all competitors. When a safety car is deployed, all of the previously built up advantages get wiped out. So in the same manner that you saw that 12-second gap that Hamilton had over Verstappen, that gets wiped out, enabling Max Verstappen to be right on the back of Lewis Hamilton. That same condition must also be allowed for Lando Norris to be right on the back of Pierre Gasly. How do you achieve that? Well, you release Norris along with everybody else that has been lapped that is eligible to be released, and the safety car must remain out on that track for at least one further lap to give those released cars the opportunity of making it around that track and linking up with the back of the safety car snake, recreating the correct race order with all of the previously built up advantages between all competitors wiped out. That is the purpose of the regulation. If you are a commentator in this sport, you should have the basic ability to articulate that to the fans. Instead, they don't want the commentators doing that. They demand that the commentators just talk like this all of the time, just to keep you all excited on the edge of your seats. And it's a fast moving sport, and we have to speak even faster than that as commentators to keep people excited and watching this show. Because anything can happen. It's only live once. Excite the kiddies. Mind condition. Rape the mind. That is what they do. That is what they do. Anyway, I'm just going to replay this bit here because he's said so many times this season the rules have been rewritten. Funny that. The whole thing's a contrivance, isn't it?
I don't even know what to tell you anymore. There are so many rules this year that have been redrawn, and this one goes against Red Bull. Some in Saudi went for Red Bull, some in Brazil definitely went Red Bull's way, but Michael Massey was under pressure before.
So, last 4 races of the season. Oh, in Brazil it went Red Bull's way. What, when you didn't penalise Max Verstappen for driving Lewis Hamilton off the track? When he should have been black flagged for that? That went Red Bull's way, didn't it? Oh, and what about Saudi, where Max Verstappen brake tested Lewis Hamilton? Should have been black flagged. Oh, you didn't. That went for them as well. Oh, what else happened in Saudi? There was a safety car incident. The Mercedes cars pitted for fresh tyres. That enabled Max Verstappen to take the lead, but he would have still needed to pit it, and when he did, he'd have lost track position and ended up coming out quite a few places down. Oh, we'll red flag it now, and Max can change his tyres for free and remain in the lead of the race. That went for Red Bull as well. Oh, and the other one, well, there was another couple actually. There was one of the starts at Saudi where Max Verstappen went off at that first corner, rejoined the track in an unsafe manner, causing Hamilton to have to take evasive action to avoid a collision, and in doing so, that enabled Esteban Ocon to get through, dropping Hamilton down the order. No penalty for Verstappen for a unsafe rejoin of the track. And there was the other incident where, once again, in the same manner that Verstappen drove Hamilton off the track at Brazil, Verstappen did exactly the same, if not worse, at Saudi. Drove Hamilton off the track at turn 1 in one of the most reckless moves I've ever seen in Formula 1. I think in total, he got a 5-second penalty, or was asked to give the place back. Okay? And then, do it strategically. Just let him pass just before the DRS detection zone, and then just get him back into DRS. Yeah, Red Bull scum. Anyway, we'll carry on.
And he will be under enormous pressure. The track appears to be clear, but we have gone on to another lap. And
right, the track appears to be clear, but we've gone on to another lap. This means they're now on lap 57. If you are watching the screens that you have at your disposal, the global feed that they show you, as they came by turn 14, the site of the incident, you will have seen the marshals in the orange overalls jumping over those safety barriers. So you know that is the reason why lapped cars will not be allowed to overtake. If you know the regulations, you'll know that the regulations don't state anything about lapped cars will not be allowed to overtake. The regulations Here they are, look. They state, overtaking will not be permitted. So what appeared on screen to us all was a made-up banner to comply with the narrative, the facade. Okay, but we're now on lap 57, which dictates it's now a safety car finish. You can't resume racing with lapped cars in situ due to what I've just described about the situation that is taking place between Norris being disadvantaged relative to Gasly. Okay, likewise, you know, all of them have to be released, not just the 5 in between Hamilton and Verstappen. There's 2 in between Verstappen and Sainz. So if you're gonna set it up for Verstappen to challenge Hamilton, you've got to set it up for Sainz to challenge Verstappen. And then there's 1 in between Bottas and Tsunoda, and you've got to set it up for Tsunoda to challenge Bottas, haven't you? It's not just the setting it up for the Max show, is it, kids? It's not just the Max show. That's what they turned it into, isn't it? So the regulations are there for a purpose. You're now on lap 57. In order to go racing again, you have to carry out the unlapping procedure. You can't resume racing with lapped cars in situ. The unlapping procedure is that even if you release those cars on this lap now, which is lap 57, the safety car will return to the pits at the end of the following lap. The safety car returns to the pits at the end of lap 58. That is a safety car finish. It's a 58 lap race. The way it will work is just before lap 58 completes, the safety car peels off into the pits and the lead car takes the checkered flag. There is no overtaking permitted. Safety car finish. Lewis Hamilton is a record-breaking 8-time world champion. What do they say?
Lewis Hamilton is heading to an 8th championship of the world here.
Record-breaking, yeah? When does the script change, I wonder? They're not saying a lot, are they? Still not saying a lot. But have you noticed it's far less corrupt than what Sky Sports F1 are saying and what F1 TV, Brundle's son, in my last video, is saying?
Christian and Michael.
Yes, go ahead, Christian.
Yeah, why aren't we getting these lap cars out of the way?
Again, as part of this narrative that is being created to us all, we are being raped. Our minds are being raped by F1 TV. Understand that. They know that we are on lap 57. They know that the regulations are that even if the lapped cars are released on this lap, the safety car will return to the pits at the end of the following lap. They know that this is a safety car finish. They choose to play to the world this message from Christian Horner to Michael Massey that's not allowed to happen. And yet they play it to us. What are they setting up? What are they setting up?
Just give me, because Christian, just give me a second. Okay, my big one is to get this incident clear.
You only need 1 racing lap.
An entire contrivance. An entire contrivance contrived by Red Bull, for which Mercedes were complicit with, for which every team was complicit with, for which every form of media that gets a contract to broadcast this was complicit with, for which the governing body was complicit with. an entire fraud. Isn't it different when you've not got Brundle and Crofty's verbal diarrhea? A completely different experience. Like I say, I don't know if this is the full audio from Channel 4. This is all I've got at my disposal.
Lap cars, mate, will now overtake. What is going on?
It's make it up as you go along.
What is happening? The decision has been reversed. What?
There you go. There's surprise. There's confusion. Right, so lapped cars. How many lapped cars are there? You've got data view, lads. Yeah, you've got data view over here. One of these screens is this over here, data view. You've got tracker view. You can work out where everybody is. You know that Hamilton, the car behind Hamilton is Lando Norris. You can look on that list of competitors. You can see where Lando Norris is in that field, currently showing in 7th place. And you know if the leader is ahead of 7th, then everybody from 7th downwards has been lapped. And there are 8 competitors there that have been lapped. Yeah? It's not rocket science, chicken. You can manage that, can't you? You can manage that. So, what's going on? They're now saying lapped cars will be allowed to be released. Okay, not a problem. Not a problem. Once the last lapped car, where is it? Once the last lapped car has passed the leader, the safety car will return to the pits at the end of the following lap. Don't worry, lads, it's lap 57. Even though they're being released now, the safety car will return to the pits at the end of the following lap. It's a safety car finish, isn't it, lads? Isn't it, Coulthard and Alex, Jacks, whatever your name is, however you pronounce it?
What?
Michael.
F1 TV interjecting with Michael from Toto there. Entirely scripted. Already queued up.
I'm afraid to say, you guys correct me if I'm wrong, Michael Massey's hand at the wheel is struggling here.
Why are you saying that? Right, because you can unlap the cars this lap. His decision to say, okay, you can now unlap. It's fine, you can do it. It's pointless, but you can do it. Firstly, what you have to do, you have to unlap all 8. So the instruction has to be given to all 8 cars, not just 5. By just selecting 5, those 5 that are in between Hamilton and Verstappen, you're breaking the rules of the sport. So that is wrong. You have to unlap all 8. But even if you allow all 8 to go by, which you're allowed to do, no issue with that, safety car just stays out. And it's still a safety car finish. Just going through the motions, it's a pointless act, but yeah, you can do it.
Michael, this isn't right.
This is unbelievable. This is incredible. If you've never watched Formula One before, if this is the day that...
Oh, it's incredible! Rather than call out that it's wrong, just tell everybody how unbelievable and incredible it is. That's what you paid for, isn't it? Just tell everybody how unbelievable and incredible it all is. Who's telling you this? Who is telling you this?
That you're watching. It's never normally like this. Max Verstappen is almost overtaking Lewis Hamilton. Got to be careful if he does that. Mercedes could appeal because everything will be appealed. This is barely believable. One lap of the World Championship championship to go, and Lewis Hamilton is close now. He's 3.6 miles away from a world championship battle that is so confusing and so controversial, it cannot be true. But
Funny that, it wasn't true. But why aren't you calling out that this isn't allowed to take place? Why aren't you clearly articulating to your viewers that this is a breach of the rules and regulations of this sport? Who is putting you under pressure to just hype up the drama rather than articulate to the watching audience that this is a breach of the rules and regulations of the sport and therefore cannot happen?
it is, and there's a last lap shootout for the championship.
Oh, it's a last lap shootout! How did you work that out? Were there any discussions beforehand?
Yeah, you've said it, Alex. We just don't know what to think. We just don't know what we're seeing. But something else is going to happen on this lap. Prepare yourself, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, Hamilton was wide. He was very wide.
Something else is going to happen on this lap. I wonder how you could predict that, David. With a car on 44-lap-old hard tyres against a car on fresh soft compound tyres. Something might happen here. I wonder what.
This is barely believable. Verstappen's going for it to the inside. Max Verstappen takes the lead of the Grand Prix and the World Championship on turn 5 of the last lap. And now he's trying to break the toe with Hamilton coming closer all the time. This is unbelievable. He's weaving all over the road. He's got.
And that's not allowed either. He's weaving all over the road.
Be careful, Mercedes will appeal without many changes of direction, but the championship of the world is on the line. This is turn 6, he's wide out of 6. Hamilton's not done yet. We're going to go to turn number 9 on the last lap.
No, Mikey, no, Mikey, that was so not right.
Mercedes are distraught, but Hamilton's not out of this one yet, and Verstappen's going to squeeze him all the way, and he will maintain the lead. Can Hamilton come back here? He can't, and the Formula 1 World Championship has been decided in barely credible circumstances. It's involved Verstappen, it's involved Hamilton, but
in barely credible circumstances. Completely invalid circumstances. Not barely credible. Completely invalid.
It's also involved race control, and you will never hear the end of this because Max Verstappen is nearly home.
It also involves you, because you're not able to clearly articulate to the viewers that this is wrong, this is unacceptable. These are the implications, these are the rules, these are the regulations, this is what they're for. Hence, you clearly can't do this. You've just done this to hype up the show. But no, you've taken the money, haven't you? You've taken the money and you're quite happy to lie to people and not articulate the true reality of the situation. But instead, it's incredible, it's exciting, you couldn't, it's the best thing you've ever seen, it's Formula 1, and we talk really fast and everybody gets really head up about, Yeah, you like that, don't you, lad? You like that?
This is unbelievable. Race control got involved. Max Verstappen made the pass on the last lap, and as he comes over the line, Max Verstappen is the world champion of 2021 in the most unbelievable finish to a Formula 1 season you will ever see. Red Bull are exalted.
The most unbelievable end to a season you'll ever see. Yeah, because you shouldn't be believing it. I mean, what that did, it caused a lot of these strap-on fanboys to ejaculate. You'll see them in the comments section. They get excited about that. They'll timestamp the things that cause them to pop their cork because they loved it. Max Verstappen, you are the world champion. The world champion. This one here. 5 like that. They like that. They like that. None of them have got any integrity, okay? Generally, turds of human beings. Brainwashed, mind-conditioned, but they like it. But we'll carry on.
Mercedes will be gutted. The Netherlands have their first title winner.
No, they don't.
Oh my lord, Max! Oh my...
What a contrivance. Anybody that celebrates something that is fake is, well, a turd of a human being.
Oh my god!
So, Max Verstappen celebrating something that is fake. That's Max Verstappen for you. Is that Giampiero Lambesi? That shows you exactly what he is. You know it was contrived, and yet you put on the show for the radio, for the kiddies. Rapists of the mind.
You are...
Yes! Oh my god!
You are looking at the 34th champion of the world.
Really? So this is Alex, Jakes. This is the best you can do, is it, Alex?
And his name is Max Verstappen.
So, were the Channel 4 commentary team of Alex, Jakes, David Coulthard, were they able to identify, well, hang on a minute, we're on lap 57, and, well, firstly, we're on lap 56, lapped cars will not be allowed to overtake. That's not in the regulations. We're on lap 57, 5 cars are given the order. That's not in the regulations. It has to be all 8, but even so, even if all 8 are allowed to unlap on lap 57, the safety car will return to the pits at the end of the following lap. It's a safety car finish. Instead, we got just 5 released, the 5 that were just in between Hamilton and Verstappen, not the 2 that were in between Verstappen and third place Sainz, not the one that was in between Bottas in 4th and Tsunoda in 5th. No, them 3 cars were left. And we got the immediate withdrawal of that safety car to facilitate the 1 lap that was then carried out with the known tyre advantage of Max Verstappen. That is race fixing. Did the Channel 4 commentary team point out that, whoa, this is not allowed to happen, only 5 of 8. Whoa, this is not allowed to happen, safety car has been immediately withdrawn. That can't be allowed to happen. Did they do that, or did they just go with it and talk you through, oh, how incredible this is, we're narrating you through this last lap that's now unfolding before our very eyes? That's what they had to do, didn't they? They served. They will be of service. They got paid handsomely.
Max Verstappen, you are the world champion.
So there's old Christian there, doing this one for the cameras. The soundbite that then gets utilised by Sky Sports F1 to promote Formula One for the next however many years that they're going to keep rolling that out. Again, a turd of zero integrity, a rapist of the mind, knowing full well that he was party to sporting fraud, to a global fraud, and yet put on this facade of celebration. It shows you the kind of scum that Christian Horner is. A criminal piece of shit.
The the world champion!
Mate, you absolutely deserve.
Oh, we get into absolutely deserving it. Oh, you absolutely deserved it. You had no luck all year. You led the most amount of laps. You got gifted the win of the Belgian parade, even though there was no race. You got given every decision where you ran Lewis Hamilton off the track and never got penalised for it. You never got penalised for brake testing Lewis Hamilton in Saudi Arabia. They red flagged it for you, so you got a free tyre change when you were going to lose position in Saudi Arabia. They let you off with not re-entering the track in the correct manner in France. They let you off with not penalising you at Imola, at Monza, at Silverstone for creating that crash where they vilified Sir Lewis Hamilton. You absolutely deserved it, Max. You had no luck all year. We're the victims! We're the victims! You fully deserved it, Max. You absolutely deserved it. Yeah. I'm sure. Yeah. Do you understand now? You know that Max deserved it, don't you?
You absolutely deserve it. You've had no luck. Not the rub of the green. Recharge
Yeah, you didn't have the rub at the green, Max.
on, please. Recharge on.
Max, we are so proud of you.
Funny what people are proud of.
Oh my God, guys. I love you so much.
Yes, people value things to love, don't they?
You have driven like a champion all year. You did.
Yeah, driving like a champion. Driving another competitor off the track twice. Both black flag incidents. Brake testing them. Black flag incident. That's driving like a champion, isn't it, Max? Forcing them off the track at Imola. Forcing the track off the track at Monza. Landing on their head at Monza. Yeah, you know that. Typical decision. I'm not surprised. It's classic.
Deserve that. We needed a bit of luck. You got it. You made it happen. And
We needed a bit of luck. Yeah, we got it. We got the bit of luck. We played some clever cards. It was like a 50-50, red or black, roll of the roulette wheel.
we love you. We absolutely love you.
Who else do you love, Christian? What's that bird you got working for you? Did you love her as well? Yeah, couldn't make it up, could you? Says Brundle. What is Brundle's the lad that he manages, Coulthard? What's Coulthard got to say about this? So quiet.
It is unbelievable, guys.
Yeah, everything's unbelievable, isn't it? It's unbelievable already.
Can we do this for another 10,
10 years already?
50 years together?
Already?
Right, honestly.
Honestly. Liars when they use the word honestly. Unbelievable.
The emotion is pouring out at.
We're back with the Channel 4 commentary. Let's talk about how this makes you feel with the emotion.
Red Bull, they are celebrating a driver championship.
Dun, 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 dun. So that soundtrack is probably copyrighted, so that might get the video blocked.
The season that had it all.
The season that had it all. That's how they wanted to sell it.
Decided with a pass on the last lap.
Oh, of the last Grand Prix of the season. Going right down to the wire, like the best sporting season ever. Just like that time when Man City won the league in the last game of the season in stoppage time with that Aguero goal. You know, remember that one, yeah? Yeah, you couldn't make it up, could you? No, that kind of thing happens authentically once in a few decades. Not every year, lads. Not every year. Unless you contrive it that way.
The World Championship was decided with 7 corners remaining.
Incredible! But he absolutely deserved it. It's fun, this, isn't it? Where's the commentary? Tell us, David, what do you think in the comment section? David Coulthard, we're all ears. And you're usually all jaw. Is Coulthard on the phone to Brundle? Brundle telling him what he's got to say. Or are you just subscribing to the notion, rather than drop yourself in it, just say nothing? So, we've got a British driver, former driver, commentating on the sport. A British driver has just been deprived of becoming a record-breaking 8-time world champion, and they've been deprived of that due to an illegal restart of that Grand Prix. Clear implications, clear rule break. What's being said about it?
Oh, I'm just speechless, Lewis. Absolutely speechless.
Yeah, so are the Channel 4 commentary team, really. Lots of brain-dead people whooping, celebrating good times when they don't know the authenticity of what it is they think they're celebrating. They're thinking they're having the best time ever, aren't they? Having witnessed a fraud. They like that. They like being defrauded. That gave them something that they like and they wanted. Humankind, what chance has our species got when it's full of brain-dead individuals that just like being excited? I'm still waiting, Coulthard. That is unlike any sporting commentary I have ever heard. When you watch sport on the television, you have commentators and pundits, and you just do not have that amount of time that they are not speaking. During the action, they're describing the action, and then when the action is finished, they're talking about things. We didn't get anything from those paid, contracted commentators. What is going on? What is going on? Done videos showing what Coulthard was able to say about this on the BBC's webpage by Andrew Benson, and we're going to go through the BBC's radio audio. So I'll find that, that's also on YouTube, and we'll go through the BBC's commentary team that broadcast the event to a listening radio audience and see how they did it. So far we've got Sky Sports F1, Brundle and Crofty lying to the world about those last 5 laps of Abu Dhabi 2021. We've got Martin Brundle's son, and I've been informed that the female that was also co-broadcasting alongside Brundle's son for the F1 TV commentary team, her name, it's been given to me, let me just find that. I've been told, and I hope this is accurate, that person is Rosanna Tennant, okay, who is supposedly the co-commentator of Alex Brundle for F1 TV, also lying to us all. Here we have the Channel 4 commentary team, unable to identify to the global watching, well, not the global, the British watching audience on terrestrial television, that the rules of the sport were being broken, and that is not allowed to happen. And this is the purpose of those regulations, hence why it is not allowed to happen. Those contracted commentators were not able to do that. That is contrivance. That is being complicit with a fraud taking place. We've now got eerie silence where those paid commentators are saying nothing. What's going on? What's going on? So we'll wait and see what the BBC had to say real time about that. Because Benson from the BBC has never been able to tell the truth. I struggle to believe that this was broadcast on live TV on Channel 4 in the UK and there was no commentary. We're just getting just the audio that we're hearing now. I struggle to believe that those paid presenters, Coulthard and Alex Jakes, weren't saying anything. Now, I could be wrong, but like I say, every sport that I've ever watched on TV, there is just not this level of silence from those presenters, commentators, pundits.
The world champion is downstairs speaking to Jenson Button.
Max Verstappen.
And we've all heard that crap. So, what is being articulated to the Channel 4 commentary team? What are the terms of them being gifted the broadcasting rights to that show? What are the conditions of that? What is part of the contract? What are they? What do they have to comply with in order to effectively be allowed to be airing that? What deals are being done? It's an entire media narrative. The global media has essentially complied with that narrative. You've never heard the truth about this. All of the facets that I'm demonstrating about it on this channel, such as the fact that every form of media has complied with that narrative, none of the other teams protested that restart, where McLaren were impacted because Norris was denied the opportunity of competing. Ferrari were denied the opportunity of contesting for second position. Sainz was held back behind 2 cars. That's 2 teams that were complicit. AlphaTauri, they had a car impeding them directly challenging Bottas. They both got past Bottas, but there's an illegal restart that disadvantaged them. The 2 Alpines, well, they weren't afforded the time to catch the back of the pack, were they? Aston Martin, one was released, one wasn't. Well, that's disadvantaged their team. Did any of those teams protest? No, they were all complicit. During that safety car period, the radio messages between each of those race engineers and each of their drivers, oh, we think that race control may restart like this. That's not in the regulations. All teams were complicit with that contrivance. All media was complicit with conditioning the watching audience that was going to take place. And it's just confusing. And what's the race director doing here? None of you are calling out the truth, are you? None of you are calling out the truth. None of the media has actually explained the implications of what that steward's appeal was. None of them. None of the media has identified that the FIA report into Abu Dhabi was a fraudulent document. The governing body of the sport produced a report into the most corrupt event of the sport, and they lie about it in the report. No media has reported that. The entire thing is a fraud. The entire thing is a fraud. And so what do we have to do? We rely on social media to show people what's true. Oh, but the algorithm means that what you show on social media only reaches a small audience. So the rest of the world still doesn't know. 108.7 million people were defrauded live. 108.7 million people watched that event live and were defrauded by that sporting contrivance, by that fraud. How many of them know? Oh, the mystery algorithm doesn't show them, so they don't know. They just believe what they've been fed by the media. And it's all owned by the same people that all made lots of money out of the fraud. This is the world we live in, ladies and gentlemen. This is the world we live in. Understand that. It's not a conspiracy theory. Okay, it's a fact that there are parties with massive financial interests that conspired, not only in this, but in everything else that affects our lives, and it makes them a lot of money and costs us, as the cost to us in just existing in this world. It does matter. And hopefully, ultimately, this can be used as an example to wake people up to the true dynamics of all of the things that do affect our daily lives. Corruption in this world is rife. Governments are owned by massive financial interests. This is what has happened in this sport. The government of the sport is owned essentially by the financial interest, which is Liberty Media, the owners of the show, who contrived the show to excite the kiddies, to attract the audience, which earns them more money, attracts the sponsors to get eyes on their brands and on their products to sell, to make money. So everybody's defrauded, everybody's sold the idea of watching a sport to get excited about. They defrauded that. They contrived it, and yet they're getting away with defrauding us. That is exactly what has happened. They have made a lot of money. They continue to make a lot of money. This is what is happening in every facet of life. Massive companies are making lots of money, often illegally, and yet the media will not report it. Because those massive companies, the people that own those massive companies, they own the media as well. So we get to hear about the things that they want us to believe to be true. And they get us to fight each other. Because while we're fighting each other, we're not looking at what they're doing. So, it's gonna be controversial in the comment section, isn't it, kiddies? Some of them are gonna be thinking this, and some of them are gonna be thinking that. Oh, and this isn't the last we've heard of this. Yeah, you keep arguing, kiddies. You liked it, didn't you, kiddies? You got excited when the cork popped out of the bottle and it sprayed everywhere, and you liked that. But it wasn't real. One day the world will wake up to that. Anyway, that'll do on this one. Next one, I think, if I can find it, will be the BBC's radio commentary. 3 down of the English-speaking UK feeds. We'll see what the fourth one's any more authentic than these 3. So far, this was more authentic, but eerily silent about explaining the true reality of the rules being broken. Eerie silence from David Coulthard and from Alex Jacks, whatever his name is. When you see the example of how they normally do it, and then you go to Abu Dhabi 2021, and we've got long periods of silence, haven't we? Rather strange, that. Rather strange. As I said in the last video, when I went through F1 TV, Boy Tendio has done a video. This one, link will be in the description. It's not a conspiracy. 30 different commentary teams broadcasting that event in 30 different languages. Not a single one could identify that the rules were being broken here. And why? Not a single one. What does that demonstrate? That demonstrates complicity within global media, not reporting the truth about an event that is actually taking place in this world. Media that is all owned by the same massive financial interests. When you wake up to that, you'll start seeing how this world is actually run. Thank you for your time.